Hey everybody, Carl Schoof here from SnorkelTV. Hold on, what? Oh, it's Adobe? Tell them I'm in a meeting. Hey, back folks. Welcome. Today what I want to do is give you a little bit of a report on how things have been going behind the scenes at SnorkelTV. I really had a landmark month in January into February, the last 30 days. I've met a number of my own personal goals that I want to share with you. And before I share with you those results, I really want to thank everybody who has been watching and who has been following me on the various social networks and who's really gotten me here and kept me plugging along. It's pretty difficult to launch a website to an audience of 0 and just sort of sit back and wait for people to show up. And a lot of this video is going to be focused on how do you go from having nobody know about your site to getting, over 4,000 visits a month. And it takes a little work, but, I know a lot of people who watch these videos, you're doing Flash stuff, you're in the web space, so to speak, and, you might have clients coming to you asking you, oh, I want to build a site. How do I get people to find it? And maybe you'll learn a little bit from my mistakes and some of the great things that have happened to me along the way here. So, I've always told people you can't just put up a website and hope for people to come. And when I've been building this site, I really did it as an SEO experiment. I didn't tell anybody that I knew as far as friends or coworkers about what I was doing because I really wanted to test and see, all right, if you just put something up there, is anybody going to come? Or what are the little things you can do to get noticed among the thousands and thousands of competitors that are out there? So that's going to be another big focus of this video. Before we get in there, let me just show you some of the numbers that prompted me to finally do this. I've finally gotten to a point where, I'm fairly confident that things are going pretty well here. All right, so I broke this 4,000 visits mark. All right, that doesn't mean people necessarily, but 4,700 times people have come to this site. The unique people, it's probably somewhere around 60% of that number. And with that large amount of visits, over 10,000 page views, which is another thing I was sort of shooting for. So I'm very happy about that, to think that, hey, you know what, people have been clicking through my site and seen 10,000 pages. That's pretty cool. And one of the big things that really excites me is this, the 4 minutes average time on site. All right. Most sites, you're shooting for 2 minutes. That's good. Oh, you're doing okay. To have somebody in this age of super low attention spans spend on average 4 minutes on your site, that means that some people are actually saying, hey, you know what? I'm getting something out of this. So it's really good to see that, that's starting to happen. Also, globally, I can't even imagine how this happens, but if we go to the map here, I'm just a guy in my basement, recording some stuff about an animation program. And to think that people from 94 countries, some of this is search engine traffic, maybe just one hit from some weird country somewhere. But you'll see, in 1 month, 1,000 people from the US, Canada. You gotta pull your weight, Canada. I sort of consider this my virtual game of Risk every night, and it's just clear that I could just move a few troops into Canada and they'd be gone. Same for Mexico. You guys gotta bulk up here. What gets me though is that, in France, 306 people. That's awesome. Germany, 225. Guys, France is knocking on your door. You really gotta get your act together. But we'll go into some of these statistics later on. But, to see that, 300 people from France spent 2 minutes, or in Germany, 200 people visits got an average 4 minutes, as I'm just sitting here not knowing what people are thinking, these hard numbers tell me, hey, you know what? Somebody's finding this stuff and it's working. So let's go back to the real main issue. How do you get people to find you when nobody knows about you? And let me tell you, it's difficult. And the first few weeks or the first few blog posts that you have, you're just going to sit back and hope that someone finds you through Google. Probably not that likely. What I found really helped me initially is the fact that what I do consists mostly of posting videos on YouTube. If you post a video on YouTube and you have decent keywords in your titles and description, it's amazing what that does for you. Since YouTube is owned by Google, putting stuff on YouTube definitely 100% makes you appear higher in Google search results. So if you want to get on the map quickly, you know what? Make a very targeted niche sort of video on YouTube, make a few of them, and you will see your results start to show up in Google. So let's just look at YouTube a little bit. One component of using YouTube is having what they call a channel page, and here you can browse through all my videos. Some are doing better than others, and another landmark that I reached here was that I have the first of my videos to reach over 1,000 views. Now, this is huge for me. In the grand scheme of things, I can find you hundreds of totally crummy, horrible, low-res, staticky junk videos that have literally tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of views. So, you know, these guys here, yes, I'm happy with what's happening, but it's just the beginning, you know. After 2 or 3 years, I do imagine that a lot of these will have thousands and thousands of views. But they're like little seeds that you have to plant, and you just got to sit back and wait. So, you know, a lot of my stuff is getting up over 500, 600, 700. The thing is, once you put a video up, it's there literally for eternity. And more people are going to find it. And by watching one video, it's going to allow them to find another video, which is really where a lot of my initial traffic came from YouTube-related search. People would watch one of my movies, or at least a movie similar to what I made, and then one of my videos would be showing up as sort of related content at the end. So, yeah, I'm thrilled with these numbers. I'm absolutely blown away. But I know I'm just starting out, and really, you know, there's a lot more room for these things here to grow. But it does take patience. Like, I might have worked 4 hours on building this video right here. 36 people have seen it. You know what? Hey, I gotta wait. People are gonna come. By the way, it's a great video. Watch it. But over time, what you're gonna find is that, you know, once your video starts showing up in YouTube search, then people start clicking on links over to your site, and things start to grow. What's great is that I do videos on a very sort of niche yet popular topic in my field, and if we go to just a regular YouTube search page here, I'm not logged in, so I'm not going to get any sort of preferential search results, and do a search for something like Timeline Max. For all of you not familiar with what I do, just think of it as some weird, crazy language or something. And here, what you'll see is that, which a lot of people should use, and it's awesome, by the way. We have our search results, and no one else really is doing videos on this stuff. So on this whole entire page, Snorkel TV, you know, I'm coming up. And then there's some totally unrelated content, and then there's me. So it's huge that if people do happen to want to look for this thing that I'm talking about, you know, they're going to see me. If I go to a more general term, maybe more popular, Tween Max, again, a lot of my stuff comes up in the results. Snorkel TV, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, there's other guys out there. If you go even a little bit more broader in a search, don't even worry what these terms mean. You know, other people are up there because this is more the common name that people use to describe some of the stuff I talk about. But I am showing up on some of these results down here. And the thing is, if people click on one of my movies, let's see this great one here with the nice GTI. Hey folks, welcome back to SnorkelReport. What a great voice. Carl Schuf. You know, you're going to see me in the search results. So the thing is, you want to get a lot of stuff up there that's pertinent, and when people watch your videos, YouTube's basically going to be shouting out, "Hey, Carl, watch more of this guy's videos." So yeah, there's, like, here you go, 24,000. This guy, TootVid, he's actually really, really good. He's not one of the examples of something crummy at all. But again, Snorkel TV. Where am I again? Snorkel TV. Scrolling down. So it's cool. You know, YouTube really gets your foot in the door. Another one, another one. This isn't a bragging session about, oh, look how well I'm doing in YouTube. It's showing you, you know what, you put some stuff out there. Hey, I have a video that has 643 views. That's nothing, 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 nothing. But when people watch it, you know what? Oh, why don't you watch this one by me that has 996 views? So a little chain reaction sort of happens here. And also, I'm not going to be doing searches for you all day here. When people start doing Google searches for the things that you've done videos on, you know what? They're going to pop up on the first page. So, really starting out when nobody knows anything about you, YouTube, I'm telling you, get some videos up there. It'll definitely help you out. Now let's go back and talk about some of those dark times, the early days. Here's an overview of where I've been historically. My first post was on May 12th of 2010. I didn't start using Google Analytics, until sometime in July. In June, we had a great baby. I didn't do a lot of work on this site. July was a little bit slow, but really the reason for 3, 7, 6, 17 visits per day, it's because nobody knows about that stuff. And in that time period, though, the majority of the traffic was coming from, YouTube search. But people were finding it. It was amazing to put something up and then see, hey, you know what? Somebody in India saw this, or 5 people in Australia looked at this. People, I have no idea who they are. They did find it without me telling them anything. Now, what happened, and and also just want to point out, for the yearly average, 4 minutes average time on site. Any advertisers watching? All right, so back to this. Well, here's a nice little jump. All right, 103 visitors. How'd that happen? 9 visitors, 33. Whoa, 103. Whoa, 50. Whoa, 120. And then up to current day, I'm sort of averaging over 100 a day, somewhere around 150 or so. Some days getting over 250. Well, what happened was I had my little Julie and Julia moment, all right? I met somebody who really did amazing wonders for getting my site discovered. And that person's name is Jack Doyle, who is the creator of the programming tools that I use. And, I was sort of, getting down on the fact, all right, 20 people, 9 people, 7 people, this isn't really taking off. Everybody hopes you build something, somebody finds it, and then they tell their 10,000 friends, and then, you're rich. Well, this stuff doesn't happen overnight. What I wanted to do is really sort of test, all right, you know what, maybe I'll reach out on some forums and just see, maybe some of my videos will help some people and I'll get some feedback. Well, I posted a little post on the Green Sock forums just saying, hey guys, I love your tools here. I've made some videos, check them out. And for a long time, I've really been a leech of the Flash community as far as, doing a lot of work and projects. And when I got into trouble, go onto various message boards and, somebody helps me. So a lot of my participation in my site is really to give back to the community. And when I posted on this message board on the Green Sock site, I was really just like, hey, I'm trying to do my share, check it out. Little did I know that the owner of that site would say, hey, you know what? These videos are actually pretty good. I'm going to link up to them. And so what really happened was a windfall of traffic. So let's take a look at, let's go back to my month. And let me just give you an overview of where some of my traffic is coming from. So let's go to traffic sources. All right. And so again, this is for beginning of January to beginning of February. You'll see here that Google is driving 34% of my traffic. Greensock.com, that's because one guy said, hey, you know what? I like what you're doing. 29, roughly 30% of my traffic is coming from one source. All right. Direct means people who are just, typing in my URL, coming back, maybe checking their bookmarks to see if I've written something new. And then you have this forums.greensock, where I've been participating quite a bit, is driving some good traffic too. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And of course, you have your youtube.com referrals. Back in the early days, this was a much huger percentage, but now that I have a real heavyweight inbound traffic source, YouTube isn't as huge percentage-wise, but still their traffic is great. So let's talk a little bit about, all right, what are these people doing that are coming from, these various sites? People who come from Google, let's just check it out. They're spending on average 2 minutes. A lot of Google traffic is hit and run. You click on the link. If it doesn't instantly serve your needs, you're out of there. But some people are, spending some time there. 9 minutes, that's huge. If we search by average time on site here, you know what? Yeah, some people are coming in, they're spending an hour, 43 minutes, a half hour, 26 minutes. You know what? That's pretty massive. But this is just the top of the results. If we go the other way around, Google sends a lot of people who are spending no time. If I scroll down to 250 rows here, come on. You know what? There's a lot of people who, hey, come in and they leave right away. And that's just the way it works. You don't know exactly why, but hey, you know what? It happens. So the bounce rate from Google is 73%, meaning that, a lot of people take off when they come from Google. Now, if we go back and look at the green sock results here, you'll see my bounce rate is down to below 50%, and the average time on site is 5 minutes. So compared to Google traffic, this green sock traffic, it's extremely targeted, and most likely the people who are coming from that source are going to be very interested in what I have to say. And you'll see that, out of 1,000 people visiting nearly 3 pages, average time on site, 5 minutes. That's ridiculous. All right, that's great. So I can't tell you how happy I am that I have all these inbound links. And let me just show you what those look like. On this green sock site, Jack has been kind enough. When people come to learn about his tools, he's saying, oh, you want to learn more? Check out this guy. All right. So the fact that every hour of every day, these links are sitting up here, it's literally a windfall of traffic coming into my site. So I can't tell you how huge it is to get a little bit of help from somebody who's, willing to, support you, give you that pat on the back, so massive. All right. The next thing I want to talk about, so we talked about YouTube helping out, obviously having some sort of industry heavyweight give you a little link love is incalculable how huge that can be. But there are things you need to do. You just can't launch a website and say, oh, I hope people find me and figure out how much I know. It's not going to happen. You need to go out there into the various communities, whether it be social network channels or actual forums, and start contributing. You have to help people. You got to let people know that you do care about them and that you're willing to help. And you know what? They're going to scratch your back in return. All right, but it's not a one-way street. You don't just say, oh, come look at me. Here I am. No, you have to go out there. You got to make an introduction, and you got to be willing to sweat a little bit. And so what I want to do is go back one more. And for the referring sites, you'll see this little guy here. Well, actually, let's go to, the global mega. All right, so this is for the entire year. All right, so let's go back to my traffic sources. And you'll see here, forums.greensock. Ooh, a little 3% of my traffic. What's that? Is that even worth it? 547 visits. Okay, let's just click on this link right here. All right, you'll see that these guys spent the traffic coming in on average 4.5 minutes. The industry average is somewhere around 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. So huge, that's a great number right there. But you're saying 547, what's that? That's nobody. No, it's not nobody. It's great. And how do you get, if you have nobody coming in, 547 visits is a lot, okay? So I just want to show you that, the forums that are provided on the Green Sock site, due to my participation there, I've posted 211 posts, all right? Again, a small number. 1.5 posts per day. Does that take me a ton of time? Not really. But you'll see here that, through the course of me being involved here, that 211 posts, just because I have my little links in my signature here, has gotten me over 547 visits. So for every one thing that I post, I basically get 2 visits back to my site in return. And that's a pretty darn huge margin of whatever you want to call it, success. So this is like the triple win right here. People using this tool win because hopefully I help them and they learn more and they get more excited about using it. The owner of the site gets helped out because he's not wasting his valuable time, you know, helping people through the same things he's helped them with 500 times. And me, I'm getting to meet people, I'm getting to help them, and even bigger, I'm getting to see firsthand the kinds of problems people are having, and I get to learn how to solve them. All right, so it makes me better, it makes you better, it's great. So really, I say go out there and participate. I don't care if you're a chef, a photographer, a farmer, a dog trainer, anybody, whatever your field is. Those are all reputable fields, by the way. Get involved. You know what? People aren't just gonna find you miraculously. You got to go out, introduce yourself, lend a helping hand, and you will be rewarded for it. So again, get involved in some forums. Now, through those dark times, you know, I've shown you the global map before. I really can't say enough what it means. Let's go back to our dashboard here. All right, so here's for the year. You know, now I'm looking back, you know, for the 6 or 7 months I've been doing this, 14,000 visits, 35,000 page views. I don't even know what 35,000 means, you know what? Unless it's in dollars, you know what? I can't imagine 35,000 of anything. And through these dark times here, when you're just starting out, I really want to encourage you, keep going, keep trying, because in a little bit of time, you're going to get that first comment. Someone on YouTube is going to say, hey, you know what? I actually like this. And then you're going to find out, you're going to look in Google Analytics and say, hey, you know what? 3 people in India looked at this, in Japan, and it's just inconceivable how I can create something in my basement on Long Island and somebody in Australia is looking at it. You know what? It's awesome. So I really want to urge you guys to get involved. Now, there's a lot that I can do on my site. Trust me, I know it needs to be heavily designed. When I first started out, I'm the kind of person who can really get stuck on all the little details, all the features that I know I should have, and all the bells and whistles. But I just had to put my foot down and say, you know what? I got to start making content. It doesn't matter that I don't have a contact form on my site. There's no reason to contact me. So I know there's work that I need to do to make it look better and work better, but I really, for the last few months, have had to concentrate on, let's build some content, learn how to make it better, and go with that. And over time, you know what, I can add those things that I need. And if we go back to this chart here, I just want to show you that, you know, in this next phase, I'm really going to be reaching out to you guys for maybe some information about, you know, what do you like that's happening? What don't you like that's happening? What would you like to see improved, so that I can really make the Snorkel TV experience better for everybody? And let's just go back to my dashboard here for the month. And you'll see here we have my 4,704 visits, 30%, which come in from one source, who I'm extremely thankful for. And I know that I can increase the amount of pages people visit on my site by cross-promoting blog posts and, you know, making things look better. But what I'd really like some help with from you guys, I figure if you're watching this far, you're somewhat interested in what I'm saying, so thank you. But in order to really extend my reach, I need a few more people, just nudging people my way. I'm not begging here, but right now it's pretty easy for some people to announce, hey, you know what, check this guy out if you like him. So let's go to some of the social networks I'm involved with. I'm really just focusing on Twitter and Facebook. I gotta say, I hated Facebook from the beginning. There's nothing worse than making tweets to 0 people that are following you, and B, you know, getting bombarded with tweets from people about how much they ate, when they're going to take a nap, or I'm bored sitting in the airport. That's the worst in the world. And you'll never see any tweets like that on my page. It's all going to be Flash or web tech related sort of stuff. This whole, I scored 319,000 points on Pirates Love Daisies. Hey, I got to test how some of these things work. But other than that, You know what? I want to promote other people in this field. I want to, Doug Winnie, who's doing work at Adobe, doing great tutorials on AS3. You know what? I want my audience to be exposed to what he's doing. Lee Brimelow's Go To and Learn site. There's so much more that people can be learning than what I offer, and I want them to have access to all of these resources. Envato Active, you guys do a great job. Their AS3 101 series. You know what? I'm not just going to shout about me. I want to promote you and other great things. So if you follow, I really hope to, expose you to all the stuff you should be reading to really excel in your Flash work. So I only got 42 followers right now. I'm thankful for every single one of you, even the spam bots. I love you all, and thank you. You know what? It's much better than having 2. And I know that these numbers are going to grow to 100 and get bigger. And again, it's all little seeds. And if you guys plant some seeds for me, as simple as, you know what? Click on the retweet button. Maybe your 20 people see what I said and they like it. Great. Over on Snorkel TV, on the Facebook side of things, you know what? We're not restricted to 140 characters or whatever it is. So I'm going to be posting more and more here. And all 59 of you people, welcome. I love you. You know what? I really want to start a conversation here. Now I'm going to tell you about the Doug Winnie videos, but if you guys have questions, you know what? I don't mind answering them. Hey, Carl. Yo, Augie, what's up? You're the best. So yeah, if you want to be in tune to what's going on at Snorkel.tv and in the Flash industry as a whole, you know what? Pick Twitter or Facebook or become a subscriber on YouTube. You know what? You're going to know right away when my new stuff comes up. And really, you can get in touch with me through these means, and I'll respond and hopefully help you as much as I can. All right, folks. With that, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching this much, for doing everything you do, even just doing a simple, like on a Facebook post. 2 people like this. Well, you know what? You guys are both awesome. I like you. Because now your friends see that you liked it, and all this little exposure over time, it helps so much. And again, like I said, I'm some guy sitting in his basement. To know that I've done something that 59 people have decided to say, you know what, this is okay. To think that I've done something that one guy in France has been watching for an hour, that rules. Sasha, is that you? All right. Anyway, I'm out, guys. Keep up the great work. I look forward to interacting with you more. Yeah, I'll call them back in a second.